You know that feeling when you finish a game and you just sit there, staring at the screen, feeling like empty, like it is over, and you are not ready for it to be over. That is exactly what happened to me with this game. And the worst part, it took me maybe 2 hours to finish it. 2 hours. And I'm still thinking about it. This is A Short Hike. Alright, let me set the scene for you. You're a little bird. You arrive at Hawk Peak Provincial Park. Your aunt tells you to go climb that mountain over there. And that is pretty much it. That is the whole premise. Now, before you close the tab thinking this sounds like the most boring game ever made, stay with me, because there is something genuinely strange happening here. And I want to figure out what it is. A Short Hike was made by one person, Adam Robinson Yu. He started building it not even as a real game, but as a personal project. He was burned out from working on a bigger RPG, so he just started designing some natural landscapes to decompress. He was inspired by summer hikes and exploring forests when he was a kid. And somehow, this little side project that was basically game developer therapy turned into one of the most beloved indie games of the last decade. The original soundtrack was composed by Mark Sparling, and the whole thing was first released as a humble original in April 2019 before getting a full content update later that summer. But why does this tiny game made by one exhausted developer as a way to relax hit so differently that games with hundreds of people and millions of dollars behind them? Because I genuinely did not expect to feel anything. And then I felt a lot of things. So let us talk about that. When you first boot up A Short Hike, you are immediately thrown into the world. You just land at the park and off you go. Information comes to you naturally from characters you meet along the path. It is one of those design decisions that sounds simple, but it is actually really hard to pull off without making the player feel lost. And the art style. Okay, I need to talk about the art style. It is this weird hybrid between low poly 3D and pixelated textures. Like someone decided to take two completely different aesthetics and just mash them together. And somehow it works. It looks like a memory, like a dream you had about a camping trip. The kind of visual style where your brain fills in all the details and makes it feel more beautiful than it technically is. But here is the thing I kept coming back to while playing. The game never once made me feel like I was doing something wrong. You just exist in this world and move through it at whatever pace feels right. And that is actually a really unusual thing in games. Most games, even relaxing ones, have some kind of friction built in, some mechanic that creates stress or urgency or competition. A Short Hike just does not have that, which sounds like it should be boring. And I need to tell you something important about that. It is not boring at all. And figuring out why it is not boring is what actually makes this game interesting from a design perspective. The answer has something to do with golden feathers. There are collectible items scattered around the park, and finding them increases how many times you can flap your wings while climbing or gliding. More feathers means you can reach higher places, and higher places reveal more of the world. It is such a clean, elegant loop. Explore to get feathers. Use feathers to explore more. At no point does the game tell you this is urgent. It just makes the reward feel genuinely satisfying. Adam Robinson Yu essentially built a curiosity engine. The mountain is always visible on the horizon. You always know where you are supposed to go eventually, but everything in between is yours to discover in whatever order you want. Mark Sparling composed the soundtrack for A Short Hike, and it does something I have only heard a handful of times in games. It adapts dynamically to where you are and what you are doing. It shifts gradually, like the ambient noise of a forest shifting when you move from open meadow into dense trees. You almost do not notice it happening, and that is exactly the point. So, why did this game succeed? I asked myself that question at the beginning of this video, and I promised I would try to answer it. And my honest answer is that I'm still not completely sure, but I have a theory. A short hike succeeds because it does not try to be more than it is. It is a small game about a small hike. It knows exactly what it wants to make you feel. And every single design decision, the art style, the music, the lack of tutorials, the open exploration, the collectibles, all of it points in the same direction, toward that one specific feeling. Peace with a little bit of wonder underneath. Adam Robinson Yu made this game because he was tired and needed to make something small and personal. He was not trying to make a hit. He was not chasing a trend. He was trying to recreate the feeling of being a kid exploring a forest on a summer afternoon. And because the intention was that specific and that honest, the game carries that feeling. You can feel that it was made by someone who actually cared about what they were building. A short hike is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is make something smaller and make it exactly right. The game costs about $7. I finished it in about 2 hours, and I would pay for it again without hesitating. I went into this game expecting to spend a pleasant afternoon with something small and uncomplicated. I came out of it thinking about game design, about intention, about what it actually means to make something that feels like something. That's not nothing, that's actually everything. If you made it to the end of this video, I think you know exactly what I mean when I say that some games just get it right. No explanation required. Let me know in the comments what small game has done this for you. The one that surprised you, the one you finished and then just sat there for a minute. I want to read every single one of those. And like always, thanks for watching.